You heard what he said?
They might just say your 24-month clock just because you continue the same behavior behind bars. How did he get out continuing that same behavior behind bars when there's a man on record at trial stating that he's right to continue this behavior? Moreover, he ran a criminal enterprise while behind bars to release, man. They let murderers, killers, a lot of people just die in there. It don't matter if they got gonorrhea or hepatitis C in his case. It don't matter. They let them die. That's your crime. Your crime called for life. Man, there's something fishy about that. And I called him hot before I'm calling him hot again. There's something fishy about that, dog. You know what I'm saying? But more, let's talk about who Eon Williams' handling agent is. Eon, we want to know who your handling agent is. You called me a rat because of the Alpo thing. I'm calling you a rapist because of the Keith Gaffney thing. You feel?
Hold on. I'm going to find a pot for you. I'm going to when a nigga had the biggest butt cavity in USP.
Man, get the fuck out of here.
For real though, bro. They called his ass the safety deposit box, bro. They said he hold a zip in that motherfucker and a cell phone.
Hey, still, man, you heard him say state penitentiary, not federal penitentiary, bro.
I don't know the difference. They still was fucking. Fuck. Fucking in jail is fucking in jail site. Fuck what jail it was.
So you saying it's a video talking about the man got the biggest...
I'm about to show you. Fuck it. I'm finding it, bro. I promise you we won't. Yep. I promise you we won't get off this computer till I find it.
Man, go ahead, yep. Oh man, they just pitch all the contraband to him.
Nah, it's like, bro, the nigga had a key. All right, the nigga had a key to his own unit down Lawton. Like, he had the key. Like, the guards knew he had the key. They didn't believe him, so he went to. All right, he raped some motherfuckers in jail, and they was on trial. He got life in that trial. Some jailhouse shit. He got life on some jailhouse shit on another rape charge down. But the nigga, his boyfriend, who he had a boyfriend on the case. His boyfriend was part of the case, and his boyfriend was trying to get off that shit, so he testified against him. His boyfriend spit up the handcuff key on trial and said this is the key to the room that he owned. Like, before they believe him in court, like, he spit it up on trial in his hand to give it to the judge. The nigga Fly had a room where he just used that junk to fuck. Like, he ain't called people from the outside to fuck. He was fucking like. He was, oh my bad, I put the filter on. He was fucking like niggas and shit down the end of the hall. Like, he had a whole unit, bro. Like, Fly had the key. Open that junk, go in there and fuck. He was charging people. But, you know, in jail, you can't keep the money nowhere and the drugs nowhere, bro. He said he had a safety deposit box in a nigga ass. It was the biggest butthole in
wow.
He was keeping all the shit in his man ass. But look, though, how did he figure out his man had the biggest ass in USP? That's the crazy part.
Wow.
This shit all court documented, though. This shit get nasty and nasty. And that nigga's nasty thug.
You know what? We need to interview the world.
No, the fuck we don't.
The man with the big rectum. The man whose rectum is
if you want Bar's ass, like, just say that.
No, I'm saying I'm saying.
Can't believe it. You can't believe it. You can't believe it.
No, this is what I'm saying.
His safety deposit box is bigger than yours. You mad?
I need an interview from him. To say I was the safety deposit,
bro.
Because this story is blowing my mind, bro. Bro, you're saying that somebody's ass was the safety deposit box.
On TV today. I'm dropping it on Bob's on TV today, bro.
Wow. Oh my God.
I'm about to find it though.
I found this on the web.
Oh man, why you tearing the homies up like that, man? Go ahead,
this ain't no homie, bro. He ain't no part of that shit y'all got going on.
Oh, no, I'm talking about, man. You keep bringing the DC black shit, man.
No, bro, because listen to me. The nigga who talking, bro, he from another state. He trying to figure out how the fuck his homes lying on the DC blacks and shit, bro. Bro did that. Y'all gotta, bruh put his name, bruh acting like he the mascot of this shit. The mascot of the DC blacks on more ass than a chair.
Man,
we do business differently from the other guys.
My generation looked up to Anton White, bro.
Counsel, rape, kidnapping, carrying the.
You ready?
September 1973, when he was charged in the District of Columbia Superior Court with assault with intent to rape while armed, assault with intent to kill while armed, 2 counts of armed robbery, 2 counts of rape while armed, kidnapping, carrying a pistol without a license, burglary while armed, and armed robbery. On July 29th, 19, we're in the home of victim 1, along with victim 2 and victim 3. While in victim 1's home, Gaffney and Ingram held victim 1 at gunpoint, demanded narcotics, and then shot her in the chest. Gaffney and Ingram robbed victims in the home, and Ingram raped her throughout the day. They eventually took victim 2 to the home of victim 4, and Gaffney later robbed, raped, and threatened to kill victim 4 over the course of 4 hours. After trial, Gaffney was ultimately sentenced to 24 years to life imprisonment. Gaffney is free today after being granted a compassionate release due to a 20-year-long battle with hepatitis C. Eon Williams of the DC Blacks YouTube channel is doing his best to change the narrative in regards to Keith Gaffney, championing him a kingpin, a Lord and legend, and a big homie, but failing to call him what he really is, a chronic heroin abuser whose addiction and desperation combined drove him to become a convicted rapist. Tried and convicted of multiple rapes stemming from the same incident, when asked about his crimes at sentencing, Gaffney did not declare his innocence. Instead, he offered, "I was a young guy that felt like my life was gone and nothing mattered to me." He said that on the stand in 1995. A then 20-year-old rapist that continued to rape men in prison, as detailed by his childhood friend and comrade at USP McNeil Island, Walter, that is, Harris. Gaffney Bey, or Khalid Mujahid, is only free today because he suffers from an incurable eye disease that is ultimately rendering him blind, glaucoma, muscular degeneration, and largely due to the fact that the BOP lost his medical records from 1998, showing that he tested positive for hepatitis C, leaving it untreated from 1998 to 2020.
Wow.
And not be managed in prison, at least according to his attorney. Now let's talk about who Gaffney really is.
Hey.
All right, peace. You already know where you at and who you rocking with, right? Right. So let's get
Oh, petty nigga, man.
No time out. He got you in his videos too, Syke. He watch you.
Oh, yeah?
No bad shit, though.
Okay.
AKA Keith Eugene Gaffney.
He gave you utmost respect.
Oh, all right.
Mujahid, AKA Fly or and DC Fly. You heard? This is going to be part 1.
You an influence out here, Syke.
My motherfucking man.
Everybody that's unfamiliar with Fly, all you got to do is type in Keith Eugene Gaffney, DC.
That's why he changed his name to that long ass Muslim shit. That shit is swipe that shit under the rug.
That's his crew of pirates or whatnot, and
He called they as the pirates. He called Eon and them the pirates.
I'd like for all of you to go and check out. It's on a small article. I tried to put the link down there. At this point, I don't know if it's lit up or not, so you go tell me. But it is WashingtonCityPaper.com/House of Pain. That's a very interesting article that tells a lot about who Gaffney is, and a lot of people told stories about who Gaffney is. Matter of fact, here it is right here. Oh, you can't see that, I know. Washington City Papers labeled House of Pain or whatnot. But yeah, I wrote some notes down, man. Some very interesting things, you know. I've been seeing a lot of stuff about Gaffney on the internet. As of recent, there's been an uproar about some things he said about Chaz, the Black Hand from NYC or whatnot. I saw Gene Dill speak about it. I saw the Raw Report say something about it, or Raw Reality, I believe. I don't want to get the name wrong, but I saw a few people speak about it. And that made me want to revisit who this Gaffney person was for everybody that was unfamiliar with him. Because the DC Blacks channel is trying to create a new wave around him. They're saying a lot of stuff that may or may not be true, but they're leaving out the truth. You dig where I'm coming from? So check this out, man. Corporal Robert T. Green was prosecuted in 1997 and is referred to as the most corrupt Lorden correctional officer in memory. Shout out to the notes, you know I got it. Check this out. It says Green worked for Gaffney, the mastermind behind Lorden's largest known drug conspiracy. Now that's why the DC Blacks and the dude Eon is trying to champion him as a kingpin. It says Green received 235 months in federal prison for his role in the conspiracy. He cooperated with the government in hopes to get a reduced sentence. During his trial, two men testified.
Here you go, Syke.
One is Walter Harris, his childhood friend and confidant. The other one is Tony Patterson. That would be Gaffney's top soldier and best friend, as well as banker in prison, who's also, at his own admission, a blatant, flamboyant homosexual who used his keistering ability to hold up to a half ounce of heroin and a large sum of money every day.
What?
With Gaffney and Lorden.
Hold on, be quiet. Hold on, here it comes, Syke. He about to get to the safety deposit box spot. They called him the safety deposit box, bro. You think I'm well it?
That's crazy work.
Now let's focus on that. Why aren't the DC Blacks calling him a convicted rapist?
Same shit I'm trying to figure out.
About the fact that he got his charges from raping. He's no kingpin. He wasn't doing anything on the streets. Nothing of substance. He's a great boxer. Cool. He wasn't boxing on the streets. He was doing heroin. That's what he was doing, robbing and raping, pillaging, until he was caught and consequently sent to prison. But no one is speaking about it like that. They're making him this kingpin and this and that and the other when he was nothing but a heroin abuser on the streets. Now, during Gaffney's trial, Assistant U.S. Attorney Thomas M. Hollenhurst declared that Gaffney was allowed to have sex with corrections officers. He said, in fact, he had sex with corrections officers, inmates, and visitors. Now, we know he had a boyfriend in the streets. And we know he liked men in prison. He raped men in prison or had sex with blatant homosexuals like his best friend and top soldier, Tony Patterson, or whatnot. So,
this nigga dropping names, Syke.
That he's a bisexual rapist of men and women. You dig what I'm talking about? Now, a lot of people gave me flack the first time I reported on this, saying that, what's the word I'm looking for? Unisex jail. It was women in the jail. He was sleeping with, they said he was sleeping with inmates. That was women. Visitors was women. Correction officers was women. Okay. But what about what Walter Harris said? Everybody want to say he was sleeping with women. No. If he's not gay, he's bisexual, a bisexual rapist, because according to his friend at Green's trial, Walter Harris, a heroin user since 1969, has known Gaffney since their early teens at the DC juvenile facilities. He testified that his first reunion with Gaffney had been in a federal penitentiary at McNeil Island. Harris, the godfather to one of Gaffney's daughters. Now, why would this dude need to lie? You've known him since early teens. He's the godfather to one of his daughters. They've done a lot of time together. He said, what did he say? The godfather to one of his daughters testified that he and Gaffney stood back to back in the prison yard, armed with knives, after Gaffney had raped a homosexual inmate. We faced death. Together we stood ready to die in front of 300 Chicanos. That's how close we were, he recalled at Green's trial. Look up the House of Pain. WashingtonCityPaper.com/House of Pain. Look this article up. It's all in there. He testified this at trial. He didn't say after he was accused of raping a homosexual inmate. This is his man, his homeboy. He's standing there ready to stab some Chicanos because his man's raped a homosexual inmate. I don't like that whole situation. But that right there verifies and confirms the fact that he's a bisexual rapist of men and women inside and outside of prison. Why do we need to lie? He didn't say after he was accused, and then even if nobody accuses a man in prison, it's not no accused. He did, I think he did it or whatnot. Ain't nobody put no bag over nobody here. Dude know who did that to them, and that's why them 300 Chicanos was about to stab him at USP McNeil. Why are they leaving that out? Why hasn't the DC Blacks asked him about that incident? He wants to ask him about boxing matches and knowing this person and that person and doing time with this person and that person and fighting. Ask him about how many individuals' lives he's altered. Let's just say that. With his sexual deviance, him in the detail. If he didn't like you, he ordered you beaten or murdered. If he wanted a work assignment, he ordered you murdered. If he wanted your behind, he'd take it. He'd have you beaten, and they would take it. A dude by the name of Smith, I can't recall his first name, said that if Gaffney wanted you, what he would do was he would order, somebody would pop your cell. They had a handcuff key. Someone would pop your cell, and then they would rush in. They wouldn't give you any face shots. All shots to the body and the nuts. What type of nigga just hit niggas in the nuts? I don't believe I've ever used that move in life. That's like a desperation move. That's something you do when you think your life is in danger, you running out of wind. It was Gaffney's bank because his rectum.
Oh, here you go. Here you go, Syke. Here you go, Syke. Hold on, time out. Syke, can I get, before I play it, can I get a ride?
Right.
Gaffney's top soldier and best friend testified that he's considered a blatant homosexual flamboyant in jail and out. Patterson was Gaffney's bank because his rectum was so big and clean. What? He stated that he used Massengale or a shampoo bottle to flush his rectum regularly. Patterson often stored more than a half ounce of heroin in his rectum, as well as a sizable amount of cash. Gaffney called it his rear end safety deposit box.
Oh, wow.
On the stand at Green's.
Shit.
At Green's trial. That's interesting, man. I'm gonna end this like this, man.
Hey, Slim.
Last time I talked about this and his best friend with the large clean rectum pause. We ended it on a multiple choice. That's what we're gonna do tonight. We're gonna end this on a multiple choice, man. You feel me? You feel me? That's what we're gonna do, man. How do you...
Man, that shit dropping violence on TV today, y'all. I'm dropping a whole documentary. I'm dropping 2 hours worth of footage. Y'all just gotta watch that shit with the popcorn, man. I'm gonna smack the shit off fly when I say it. But what you were saying though, Syke, this shit, I'm quiet.
Man, rear end safety deposit box is crazy.
Said that shit on the stand in court though.
Oh shit!
That's a new jail joke for you though. You ain't never heard that one.
That's a vicious young this there. My rear end safety deposit.
That's where he stashed all this shit at the nigga ass, bro.
Oh,
I told you, and you ain't hear the end of it, bro. It's another part I cut off, bro. They said the nigga Fly said he used him because that nigga got the biggest ass in USP. Like it's so much space in there. How the fuck do he know this weird shit?
When that nigga walk, he whistle. Googly muggly, great dad in the morning.
This shit's so crazy though. Eon discombobulated. Like bro don't even know what to do. Bro don't even know how to journalism his way out. No journalism in the world can get you out of this shit. Best thing you can do is step away.
But how you know Eon knew all this though? Like I don't think a lot of people.
If you, I kill you, nigga. Stop fucking playing.
Look though,
You want me to tell you how Eon
Eon
knew all
wasn't
this?
never locked up or fly nowhere.
Let me tell you why Eon knew all this. Cause Fly knew everybody who was on ass. He run the
But
jail.
when Eon came through the system, Fly was already in ADX.
Eon was never down lower? Okay then.
I ain't sure. Yeah, I think it was.
As a juvenile, Fly stuck dick in Eon at 16.
Oh, God.
Been fucking that boy since a puppy.
I'm gone, yeah.
He groomed him.
I can't take no more, yeah.
All right, I'm gone. I see y'all later. I dropped that shit about on TV. I see y'all too. I'm gone. I'm gone, y'all. I see y'all later.